Hey, it's been a while since I made a video covering a Vera Dark video. I haven't reacted to her in a while. And I haven't seen anybody else talking about Intergalactic, and this one caught my eye, so I was like, you know what, I'll check it out. Naughty Dog actress plays the victim and attacks gamers who criticize Intergalactic heretic prophet. This always goes well. It goes well every time that somebody involved in a controversial game starts hating on the actual gamers that they should be bowing down to, kissing the feet of, to buy their game. But no, they're just gonna attack them, make people who were probably gonna buy it, most of them probably not gonna buy it, but you know, a lot of them were on the edge of buying it and probably were gonna buy it. But after this, no, those people are definitely not buying it. We got another Snow White situation going on. This is the Snow White of video games. I'm just thankful that it's not a remake.
The past few years have not been great for Naughty Dog. In 2020, they divided the gaming community by deciding to kill off Joel. There are some people who love that decision, some people who absolutely loathed it and vowed to not buy any Naughty Dog games in the future. Then the first season of the television show came out, which did really good, but since season 2 has come out, we've seen viewership declines and ratings tanking, and it just hasn't been a pretty picture. And of course, their upcoming game, Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, has already faced some major backlash.
I think everybody's tired of just the ugly characters. That's it. That's the only thing. Just make good characters. It's really not actually that hard. All you gotta do is not put your weird politics in it. They 100% made this chick look like this because of politics. Oh, bald women are beautiful. Flaws are beautiful. It's okay to have some physical flaws. Yeah, it is. But not in the video games. Not with a character like this where you're trying to be like, flaws are beautiful. No, they're not. Flaws are ugly. That's why they're flaws. And some characters can be ugly when you're trying to make ugly characters. When you're trying to make beautiful characters and they're ugly, then they're just fucking ugly. Okay, that's all I gotta say about the ugly character thing.
And now the lead actress is talking about how Naughty Dog's been preparing her for more hate. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, criticism is not harassment. Criticism is not hatred, but a lot of people in Hollywood...
I think the denial of criticism, saying that criticism is hatred, is how we got to this point, because they're not listening to anybody except for the yes men. I think we should make the character bald. Yes! I think that we need to make her skin complexion gross looking. Yes! Like me, I'm bald and I have gross skin complexion. We need to make her have really thick, manly eyebrows. Woo! Yeah!
And the video game industry just don't understand that. And of course, they're always looking for a way to play the victim, because for some of these people, playing the victim was the only reason they got the job in the first place. And now we have this actress, of course, apparently being prepped by...
They want to play the victim and then also at the same time put ugliness on a pedestal. I think all these people that are just against the normal things, the way things were normally, are straight up actually evil. They dislike all of the things that we like. Straight up. Like, they might like some things, like I like space games. They might like space games, but when it comes to what we want out of a space game and what we would do if we made a space game, they want to put their weird agenda and their weird politics and ugly characters and like sex stuff everywhere. Everything's always about sex and the way people look. And then when I complain about it, when we complain about it, they're like, well, you're complaining about the way they look, so you're focused on the way they look. You're the one who made me focus on it by mentioning it in the first place. You made it the problem. You created the problem. Okay.
By Neil Cuckman and Naughty Dog on how to handle the hate, which again is really just criticism and backlash. This is a Insider Gaming article. It says everyone who is everyone knows what happened when Naughty Dog released The Last of Us Part 2 in 2020. It was dragged through the ringer for several reasons, facing review bombing issues despite being an utter masterpiece.
Review bombing issues. You know what happens with the review bombs? In quotes, review bombs. I think they end up canceling itself out because you got people giving it 10 out of 10, you got people giving it a 0 out of 10. And it just levels out and ends up being the actual score. Happens every fucking time. And I think this game is gonna be a 7 out of 10. And I think the weird agenda and the weird politics in it are gonna bring it down to a 6.
Of a game. Okay, listen, we know you love Neil Cuckman. We know you love shilling for the modern video game industry. It was not a masterpiece by any stretch of the means. The first game I would consider closer to a masterpiece than the second, that's for sure. And I'm fine with main characters being killed off in stories, but it has to feel intentional, like in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, The Last of Us Part 2, it felt like they just didn't want a white male role model in a video game, and they just like replaced him. That's what they were trying to do. They wanted to replace him with a troubled character. They thought it was good writing. And then that character just looked like a dude anyway. So what did they really do? Pushed an agenda.
Ned Stark's death was an important piece of the story. It affected everyone's lives. The whole entire trajectory of the story changed because of that. With Joel's death, all they really did was try to own the chuds. They wanted to prove that they could have 2 strong women as the leads, and they didn't need any.
No, one strong woman. And one really strong woman.
Men, and it was supposed to be a statement, and it did not turn out very well for them.
On top of that, they made Ellie a lesbian. They made one of the characters in it gay. It's just like, it's too much.
It's funny that this person writing this article is saying, oh my god, it's a masterpiece. Clearly gamers didn't feel that way in 2020, and judging by the tanking viewership and ratings for the second season of the show, where this event happens, average TV viewers also don't feel the same. Regardless, though, it says fast forward to right now, and the television series is dealing with a similar problem. So back in 2020, people rated the game poorly because they didn't like the content, and in 2025, people are rating the show poorly because they don't enjoy the content. That's not hatred or harassment or bigotry. It clearly doesn't point to this being a masterpiece of a story. It's just that people don't like it. You are the odd one out for thinking it's a masterpiece. Regardless, though, it says in a recent interview,
nobody's gonna be talking about this show when it's over. Except for like when people are just gonna offhand mention it on a podcast every once in a while. They'll just be like, oh yeah, I was doing this thing. Oh yeah, Last of Us was on at the time. I watched that at night. But otherwise, my life was completely different. That was meaningless to the whole subject. That was just, I remember I was watching The Last of Us at that time. Now, I remember nothing about that show. That's what people are going to say in the future. Nobody's going to remember this show because it's not a masterpiece. It's not great. They're just trying to advertise it, I guess, and like glaze it so more people watch it. It makes more money. It's good for the agenda. It's good for activism. It's good for trans people and women and lesbians and LGBT, rainbow flag, Skittles brigade, cult behavior.
With Entertainment Weekly, Tati Gabrielle took a deep dive into her role as Jordan Munn, the star of Naughty Dog's next epic, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. Unfortunately, part of what she revealed was around the hate she and her character had already received following the grand reveal of the game in December 2024 at the Game Awards. Okay, so there's a very big difference here that I think is important to point out. A character can receive hate or backlash, and that is not a bad thing because it is a character. That does not mean that we hate the actress. I don't know this actress. I don't hate this actress. I think the way that she has acted has been very unprofessional on her social media with the DEI-licious meme and then saying, are you fucking mad, bro? I think that's distasteful. That's not hatred, though. That's just saying that she's acting really terribly. I got a lot of love, but there was also a lot of hate over me being a woman.
If you push out hate, you're gonna get back hate. Just saying. Like, if you're gonna be hateful, people are gonna be hateful to you. That's how this works. But even if you're not hateful, people are gonna be hateful to you. You just make fun of them. Ignore them. Not that big a deal, dude. Everything on the internet's fucking fake. And these people are always on the internet. They're constantly on the internet. They don't know how to do anything else except be on the internet. And then if the internet's fake, and if their whole life is on the internet, then they're fucking fake.
being a woman of color, me having my head shaved, all of these things that I didn't actually initially see. I'm out of the social media zeitgeist for that reason. But once I did, Neil was like, ignore it no matter what. Me and you, we're going to make something beautiful. We're going to make something that we are proud of. It's always funny when developers say this because while, yes, creatives need to feel confident in their work, ultimately they're not making their work for themselves. They're making it for an audience and they expect to make money off of it. So, sure, you need to be proud of it, but you also need to make something that people are going to want to support and think look cool.
If it wasn't about the money, and if you were just trying to make art for art's sake, then you wouldn't have charged full price and then re-released it over and over again. You would have released it for free. That's what true artists do. They don't fucking sell their work. They give it to the masses for free. It's so fucking gross and dumb, and it's all lies and pandering and cult behavior, and like, I don't know who they're making this for. For the 10 people who are gonna think this is great forever? Just for it to be forgotten about and people be like, remember how this was almost a great thing?
And I mean, clearly that isn't the case here. She looked like a strong, independent woman through and through. She seemed very angry, very bitchy. She didn't seem like she was going to be a cool character. She didn't seem like she was going to be fun or unique. It just seemed like the modern day strong woman trope.
She could have been a good character too. A good side character if they would have had a normal, like, actual, likable main character. And then you had the side character that was bitchy. That was her, kind of ugly, you know? Kind of a funny character. Would have been great. But instead they latched onto that character because it's like them. That she's like them. Bitchy and annoying. It's all just projection.
All over again, and people are sick and tired of seeing that. And I'm sure that there are people who push the limits when it came to the backlash. I'm not saying that there was no hatred sent her way over her gender or her skin color, because there's always going to be a few bad apples in every single bunch and people who push the limits. The majority of the responses that I saw personally were just, this doesn't look great. What is with the way that she is acting in these trailers? And ultimately, yes, criticizing Tati Gabrielle and the way that she has responded to the backlash. Now, is this article going to mention it?
She acts like, okay. This is a little bit of throwback. She kind of acts like Angelica. She acts like Angelica from Rugrats. A fucking 4-year-old, 3-year-old, however old she was. That hasn't learned how to be a good person yet, that everybody hates. And it's a character that you're supposed to hate, but it's also not the main character. The main character is Tommy, and he's extremely likable and a good person.
Absolutely not, but I'm not going to fucking let it go. There was an image that was made and posted on social media. I don't know if it started on like X or Instagram. Regardless, though, Tati Gabrielle had shared it over on her Instagram, and it says fragile masculinity, 100% incel tears. And
Is that the chick from Witcher 4? That's another one of these DEI messes also, where they changed everything about what the company was about and everything that made the company. They turned it all around for DEI.
Her and Siri like laughing and sipping their drink, and it's saying so DEI-licious, and then her caption was, "You mad, bro? This is not the way that you respond to backlash or that you respond to criticism." So she expects respect when she can't show a shred.
There are people that will see this that were on board. That were like, you know, ugly character, whatever, it's probably still fun. And then they see something like this and they're like, oh, these people are actually evil and hate people like me, normal people. I was gonna look past it and not care and play this game anyway, but it seems they don't want people like me to enjoy this and be part of the community. So I'm out.
to the people that are the reason why she's got a career. It's just not something that I personally would do. It's not what most people would do. And this isn't going to sell copies of your fucking game, because if you want the modern audience to show up to buy it, well,
they're always obsessed with sex. 100%. Incel tears, fragile masculinity. So DEI-licious. It's always about sex and race because they're racist and they're sexist. And then they want to go and complain about systemic racism when they're the fucking ones that are driving it. They're the ones behind it. Do they even realize what they're doing? No, because they're fucking stupid.
People are probably not going to support you given they don't really exist. Now, of course, they bring up Laura Bailey and her portrayal of Abby in 2020, saying that she faced something very similar. And again, sending death threats to people is not okay.
What are the odds this game is going to be better than Uncharted? It's going to sell more than Uncharted, any of the Uncharted games. Or how about The Last of Us? Even The Last of Us Part 2. Will it sell more than Crash Bandicoot? What about Jak and Daxter? I think Intergalactic is gonna probably be their worst game. It might do well initially. It might get a lot of sales, might get a lot of players, but when it goes throughout time, I think it's gonna be the one that everybody hails as the worst Naughty Dog game so far.
Sending threats of physical harm or doxing people, none of these things are okay. But the mainstream media is going to paint a certain picture for you, that most of the comments on social media were death threats and violence and hatred and bigotry and sexism, when really it's primarily just genuine criticism levied towards a product.
Yeah, racism, sexism, bigotry. Did you not read the sign that you posted? Because it was straight up sexist and racist and bigoted. Like, they're not self-aware. They're fucking idiots.
And then, of course, there are the few bad apples who push the limits. They don't want to present it that way, though, because then it's not going to seem like they are in the right, that they are winning. They always need to paint a specific picture to paint gamers as the bad guys. You'd think that outlets that need gamers to read their articles would be a little bit more respectful towards gamers, but that's not the case. And
they don't want gamers to be reading their articles. They want the weird wokies to read the articles, the people that glaze all the games that we hate. And they don't play them. They don't play any of the games, but they're gonna keep talking about them. To be fair, I don't play any of them either, and I keep talking about them. But I want to play them. For one, they're way too overpriced for me to play. Two, I'm not gonna pay overpriced fees for games that are mediocre from companies who hate me. But I totally would if they were cheap or free. And that's the difference between me and these crazy wokies that are also talking about all this stuff, but on the opposite side, is it doesn't matter. They're not going to play them all. They're not going to play any of them anyway. They just want to own the chuds. And it just so happens that a lot of us chuds play video games. So they had to invade that space.
It's not shocking that this is what she's doing now. It was what happened with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. The actress who played Reva came out and said that, oh, Lucasfilm prepared her for the racism and the sexism and the backlash and the bigotry. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point. If you hire somebody based on
What fables? If you aren't playing these games, then you have no right to be talking about them. Actually, I take back what I said. I do play these games. I'm actually looking through these games and determining whether or not I want to buy them in 5 years when they're on sale for like $10. That's what I'm doing, really. Because I will play them in 5 years. The good ones. I'm gonna skip all the bad ones, all of these woke ones. Not gonna play Avowed in 5 years. Even if it's like $5, I'm probably not gonna buy that game. Dragon Age Veilguard, that one's out for me. Hey, I might buy this one. This one might be good. Naughty Dog's got a pretty good track record on making fun games. So maybe. It depends on how gay it is.
their race or their gender, and then you have them highlight their race or their gender in interviews and promotional material, they might be criticized for only being hired because of their race or because of their gender. Seems pretty obvious to me.
By the way, is illegal. I'm just gonna throw that out there. You can't hire people based on their race or gender because that's actually sexist and racist.
But I had made this post over on X. It's got nearly 2K likes, a lot of comments. I wanted to read some of them. I don't get why people confuse dislike with hate. I don't hate that character. I dislike its design. Yeah, it's okay to dislike the character's design. It's okay to dislike the initial trailer. My major criticism was the fact that, wow, you are showing us a trailer.
You know what? I don't hate it. I don't even dislike it. I love it. I love that they're making a character like this. I think it's fucking retarded that they're making a character like this. And I love it when these stupid corporate DEI woke rainbow cult game companies and any other companies for that matter become activist and retarded. I love it. I love it so much. It's so fun to react to. So fun to talk about.
For a game by presenting us with everything but gameplay. I hate that. I know that they need to get you excited with some cinematic trailers, but if I'm buying a game, I want to see the gameplay. I'm not buying a movie. So sure, show me cinematics when we get closer to release. That's fine. But initially, I want to see the actual gameplay, and they didn't do that. They want the hate so the game gets attention. There's always plenty of games to choose from. I'm not wasting any more time and money on drivel like this, which is true. They believe all press is good press, even when it's negative press. And that certainly isn't the case at this point. There are people also saying it's just an obvious DEI games.
Always in the movies and shows, it's always the villain who says, any press is good press. Every time, it's always the villains. Just ask Spider-Man if all press is good press. Because it's definitely not. Because it can definitely make people really, really hate you.
Zero problems with a woman as a main character. Like Stellar Blade, Metroid, Tomb Raider, all of these things are great, but they're just not interested in this brand new character that we're seeing in Intergalactic. So I'll be keeping my eye on the way that she responds to the new wave of backlash that she's getting, which is just so funny. Like, oh, hey, I'm getting backlash. Okay, so basically by complaining about it, you just want people to send more backlash your way? I don't understand it.
Hey, it's got people talking about Intergalactic again. Everybody kind of forgot about it.
But I'll be keeping my eye on it to see if she makes any other statements. It seems that she is just a very, I hate to use this word, but toxic individual.
Retarded. You can use that word too. She's very dumb. Not very bright.
She loves the hate, she loves the backlash, and she loves the attention that she gets from any sort of criticism levied towards her, and she loves to play the victim, so I'm sure that this is going to be...
That's all of them, really. I think they're all on the same drugs. I think they're all on drugs, and they're all taking the same drugs, and it makes them insane and retarded.
A move she pulls time and time again during the next few years until this game releases. Who knows when it's even going to launch? But for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.
I'm loving this crash out. This is great. I actually love that she loves this backlash, that she loves all this attention, because I love it too. I love giving her the attention that she so craves. It's so fun. And it's gonna be her downfall. She's gonna take in too much. It's like that guy that Goku fought on Bobby's ship. He just fed him too much energy and he exploded. That's what's gonna happen. I can't wait to see more about this chick. Can't wait to see more about this game and how just incredibly idiotic and moronic and retarded everybody is. Woo! Let's go, DI! That's all I got for this video. Buy a t-shirt down there in the description. I'm out.